Well, hello everyone. Cutter Stan Leo here. Welcome to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. As you know, I just purchased a Sportster 72 and it's a 2012 model. I'll be doing some work on it. Today we're doing a coil reload and an ignition reload. And our verse for today is out of 1 Corinthians 19. I will destroy the wisdom of the wise, and the learning of the learned I will set aside. All right, so let's get started here and pick up where we left off on my previous video and start working on this thing. Okay, so like I was saying in my previous video, I'm going to do quite a few things on this guy. I'm going to do a tank lift, a coil reload, an ignition relocation. The seat's got to go, and then I also got to do something with this fender. I'm going to get a replacement fender and have to do some work on that. So I'm going to start with probably getting the seat off, and it looks like there's only one nut down there that I need to get to. I think if I get that guy off, and then I've got these two bolts, this bolt that has the tank on, I think I'll be able to get it off, and we'll go from there. Okay, so it really wasn't as bad as I thought. The seat was a little tricky, not too bad. Stupid bolt comes in, it bolted into the fender bolt. So that fender bolt, you know, you have to connect it from underneath. So it's a little hard to get to. But anyway, I got it out. The tank came off really easy, no problem. It's pretty easy to take that off. And then all the plastic that covers up these wires was a little tricky. That took me some time, but you just have to take your time with it, that's all. I ripped all those out. And then of course this ignition coil here, that is wrapped around the plastic piece that holds the wires in, so you got to take that out. I got to move it anyway. I'm going to move the ignition and the coil. So yeah, we're getting there. It just takes time. You just got to be patient, and I'll show you what happens once I get the tank lift on and the coil reload over here. The coil reload will be, and the ignition reload. It's DK Customs is where I got it, and it should go on pretty good. And yep, I'll keep you posted. All right, now it's time to clean all this chrome up and clean up the chassis really good and get the wires tucked nice into the tank. All right. Okay, so I picked up this kit from DK Customs, and they, I'll tell you, Dwayne is a really nice guy. He helped me pick out the right kit for my bike. There's two different types of kits. There's one that has the ignition and the coil in like one bracket, and it goes like up to the top of near the tank. But the one that I got, I like better, was the one where the coil goes further down, closer to the transmission. And so this is the coil kit right here that we're going to use, and if you see the part numbers, that's fine there. If you open it up, it comes with you know, a few things here, pieces here for the coil. I'll try to open this up with one hand if I can. Then there's a bracket inside here. You can get this out. Here's the bracket, which is going to go down near the bottom of the jugs, the cylinders, and hold the piece in place. And this is an extension. There's some extension wiring in here. It's kind of hard to do this with one hand. But the extension wiring is to pull the coil, you know, the connector from where the coil connects to, down to the bottom of the tank there. And it has instructions in here which are pretty reasonable. He did a good job with his instructions, but he also said you can call him anytime, which is nice. He's very friendly. And that's the first piece of the kit there for the coil. And then I also got the wiring. So the coil, since the coils are going to be moved, the cables are going to be a little longer. So I got these cables with it. It's called the V-Brace, the black Pro Brace be ready install. By the way, the coil kit is called the V. Let's make sure you get, if you're wanting to do this kit, it's the V-Coil, which is down near the bottom of the jugs. And then I also got this ignition relocation. It's the F6 ignition relocation. There's a couple of these too. One's a push button for later models, but mine's a 2012, so I just went ahead and got the regular ignition relocation, which is basically a bracket and a couple pieces here. But anyway, we're gonna get started on this, and it should go smooth. I mean, the instructions seem to be pretty clear, and like I say, Dwayne's a real nice guy there at DK Customs, and he's been very friendly and good customer service. Definitely recommend him. Thanks. Okay, so let's get started on this guy. First thing we're going to have to do is take off that horn in order to reload. Here's the coils up here. So first thing we got to do is get the horn out of the way, and then we can start moving the coil, and then the ignition will go back here. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that now. Okay, so taking the horn off really wasn't that bad. This is a 1/2 inch bolt here. And then the wires here were connected to a 3/8 inch wire tie down here, so that wasn't too bad. But what was interesting is these bolts up here on the bracket. These are I couldn't figure out what size it was. I didn't have an Allen wrench that fit it. So what I did was I took off the bolt here, and I went down to the store and got the right set, which is metric. It's 8mm. So one of the things I'm finding out working on these Harleys, which a lot of you Harley guys already know, but I'm learning, you need a set of metric and standard tools. So like the battery bolt, that's a 10mm. 10mm seems to be pretty common with some of the stuff, but anyway, 8mm for these guys here, which I'm going to go ahead and get. This guy was the one to give me a hard time. I'll go ahead and try to get that off now, but anyway, we're getting there. Okay, so I got it all off, but I gotta tell you, it wasn't fun, man. I'll just about pull my back out getting that nut out. It was had some corrosion on it, so yeah, I had some bad. It was stuck in there good. I put WD-40 and everything. Anyway, got it out, thank goodness. And so now we got to start getting this guy out of here. Now start disconnecting these wires and pull it through. So according to the instructions that Dwayne put with his kit, you got to disconnect these guys, and we want to make sure we put these back in the right place. So with his kit, he's saying once you get these guys off, when this guy goes in place, the closest cylinder will be this guy, which makes sense because this is going to go down here, and it looks like it will. Yep, this will go to number one. So I don't have to mark it or anything. It just makes it easier. We'll go ahead and disconnect this guy now. Get this off of here so we can get the coil out. There we go. That just came right out. See, this is what's going to happen. It's going to go down here. You start getting these wires loosened up, get the coil over there, or the ignition coil over that way too. Alright, cool. So we'll get that down. We got to get this guy out. This nut's got to come out, so I can put the new bracket in and move the coil over there. Alright, so that seems pretty easy. Doesn't seem to be too bad. Okay, so now we got to remove the coil from the factory mounting bracket. Okay, so here we go again with Harley. This is not a metric, so this is standard. So I have a different set of Allen wrenches to take this guy off. I don't know what size standard it is. It's between a 4 and a 5mm, whatever the standard is for that. But this doesn't have it stamped on it. So anyway, it fits. I'm going to go ahead and take that guy off and put it on the other bracket. Okay, so we got to take this bolt out here, and this guy here is where the bracket's going to go. So we're going to take him out, which was pretty easy. It was a 1/2 inch, wasn't too bad taking him out. And then the kit comes with these pieces here. So these washers here are going to go between the block and the bracket in the back. So I'm going to, like this, and we're going to put some Loctite down in here, and then we'll tighten this guy up, and we'll go ahead and get the coil back on here and get it mounted up. Okay, so I went ahead and added the extension coil that came with the kit from the original coil over here where it connected to the coil, the wires. You had this extension cable, kind of route it through here, bring it down between the cylinders, and then you know, put it right through the bracket. The bracket is already torqued down to 15 foot-pounds with some Loctite, and then we're going to go ahead and put this guy up in here now with the hardware that came with the original bolts. Actually aren't going to work. They have longer bolts for the bracket, so we'll put those in there with a isolator. So what we do is we take these bolts and we're going to put this washer that came with it in between the coil and the bracket. We're going to put the bolts in, and we're using the same factory plate from the other from the original setup. So the original coil that was connected to the original bracket, I'm sorry. So we're going to use those, and we're going to tighten it down. Okay, so I got that all mounted. I did put a dab of Loctite on here just because these bikes vibrate a lot, and he says to tighten this up, but not to the point where it's you know, squishing. As long as it's compressing it a little bit, that should do it. All right. So not crazy tight. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and start working on the ignition relocation. The coil relocation is pretty much, pretty much done. We just have to add the plug wires to it. And I'm going to go ahead and do a wire tuck and all that stuff too. I got a 4-inch tank lift as well. So we're doing multiple things here. So I went ahead and wrapped the ignition wires down through here just to get kind of get rough start here. And we're going to go ahead and start working on the getting that bracket installed here so we can get that in place. Alright, so what we need to do, according to the directions, is we got to take this bracket and we're going to put it in here. There's a bolt back here, and that is a 7/16. It's a grounding lug. We're going to take that out. We're going to put this guy in place, put the bolt back on, and then this screws into here. There's an insulator that goes there, and it'll be sitting back in here like this. Okay, so it came off easy enough. The 7/16 nut comes off real easy. I mean, it wasn't a problem, pretty quick. But getting the getting this bracket in here is a challenge. There's no room. I mean, it just takes patience. But I got it back on. Now, to get it tight though, I can't get my my tool back in here to tighten it, so I'm going to have to use some ingenuity here. Got a long extension here on a 7/16 with a universal. I'm going to go from the other side and get in here to tighten this guy down. Alright, so we got it good and tight now. Good thing I got all these tools, I'm going to tell you right now. Anyway, now we got to get this Torx guy, which remember we had to take this off on the other side. This is a Torx 25, so I am making a small investment in tools with this thing as well. Anyway, it's a good project. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and put this guy in here now and tighten it down. We need to put there's a insulator that comes with a kit that goes here between the two. I'm going to put that on. I'm going to tighten him up. Okay, so this part was a little more challenging than I expected. The Allen screw that was sent with the kit, the threads were different than the original Torx. So what I ended up doing was taking the bracket completely out and then putting the ignition onto that bracket, this ignition cover, whatever, the whole piece. I put it on the bracket, and then I put the bracket on the bike with the whole piece. It was a bit of a challenge, but anyway. So we've got the coil relocated over here. We've got our ignition over there. Now we just have to start dressing up and, you know, figuring out how we want to tuck all these wires back underneath the tank, because I've got the tank lift as well. And I'll start working on that next, but that's just a matter of tucking the wires, and Dwayne did a good job on his site. I'll put a link down there about wire tucking and using the silicone fusion tape to wrap the wires with, and all that kind of stuff. So I'm putting links in the bottom of the videos here in the comment section. Feel free, you guys, to give me any comments or any advice as this project goes along. But once we get all that done, then we'll start working on our tank lift. Thank you all for watching, and like I say, if you like what you're seeing, do a subscribe and a like, and give me some input. Okay, take care. God bless.